All right, you should be good to go.
Just done. There we are. All right. We're good. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to Wizarding Wands and Mickey Ears Topics and Tidbits. I'm getting started sharing all of our information out. So why don't we go through some introductions?
Good morning. Sorry, this is my first time like operating the live button. So a lot for me. It's not even complex whatsoever, and I don't even have an excuse whatsoever. But good morning. So we are Wizarding Wands and Mickey Ears. We are travel agents with Mickey Travels and Let's Adventure Travel. I am Christy Bettenhausen.
Megan Schultz.
Jennifer McCormick. Sorry, I'm fighting with being able to share. You can hear the computer yelling at me in the background. It's like, you want to reload everything. And I'm like, no, I don't want
You
to
don't know
reload
that
anything,
button.
but
Well,
here we
and
go.
mine wanted me like it was going, so I was kind of like getting an echo back. So I'm like, okay, I have to mute us over there. Technology, like it's so
Technology.
great, but it's also like a slight challenge.
Right. But yeah, I think we're so excited to be able to go live today. There's so much news that came
So
out just very recently, all over Disney property, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line. I just got off the Disney Treasure
We're
very
excited to hear about that.
reluctantly, very reluctantly, because it was an amazing ship. So I'm there right now and in spirit, in the Grand Hall of the Disney Treasure. But figured that we would get started today with a little bit of news about Universal Orlando. Not a little bit of news. Universal Orlando is expanding significantly. There are 3 new hotels that are opening. The first one, oh gosh, now I can't remember. Terra Luna. No, Stella Nova
Telenova.
just
Villanova,
opened.
Terra
So
Luna.
Stella
Yeah.
Nova
Yeah.
is open already.
Yep.
Terra Luna, the next new more value hotel, will be opening on February 25th. And then still to come is the Helios Grand, which will be in the entryway of the new Epic Universe. Um, new park. And so I think that the important thing really to keep in mind right now is this is a big deal for Universal. Everyone wants to go to Epic Universe. Universal currently still has their ticketing structure where you have to have, at least 2-day tickets to the legacy parks, so Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure before you have access to your plus 1-day Epic Universe. I don't know about you, but I'm getting plenty of folks contacting me about, I just want to go to Epic
Yep.
Universe. How do I buy
Mhm.
1-day tickets to Epic Universe? At this time, only Universal annual pass holders have access to 1-day tickets to Epic Universe. So those have not opened to the general public yet. We're all waiting. So you will hear it from us as soon as
Yeah.
we have that
Yeah.
information available. Be sure to follow us on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok. We'll put information out there for you when we hear more. But until then, so far, there's no such thing as standalone, 1 day or plus, um, multiple park days to Epic Universe. Again, we're really hoping they announce that information soon, but that is yet to be determined.
Yeah. Opening day, of course, May 22nd. Like I feel like we've been talking about it forever and it's getting
Forever.
close. We're 3.5 months out. Like that's crazy. I don't even
They've
understand
already
how we're
put
in
lemon,
February
yeah.
already.
And they've already put limitations on, purchasing packages. It's not possible right now to purchase tickets that start May 22nd that include Universal Epic Universe in those tickets. And so I expect that to continue throughout May, potentially into June, depending on what that looks like, until they know how to manage, exactly what that expectation will be
Mhm.
for Epic Universe. But I think everyone expects the first day of their ticket to be the day that they enter Epic Universe. And
Right.
so as of right now, if you were still interested in visiting on May 22nd, don't have your tickets yet, you'll have to make another plan because that's not an option any longer. So stay tuned for lots of content and more information about what that looks like.
Yep. We have some,
Exciting, lots of new with the third park, or I guess
yeah,
they're calling it fourth park. I
Right.
can't forget about Volcano Bay. Jen will
right.
get upset at me.
Right. Yeah.
So we had quite a bit of Disney World kind of news. Uh, News, yes, things that we knew that were coming, but more firmed up details. So, first thing that I wanted to just mention is that the summer di free dining promo. So we've talked about that on our previous lives, but that ends February 10th. So if you were looking to travel between May 27th and June 26th, or that July 7th through August 6th time frame, and you were hoping to take advantage of that free dining, that ends on the 10th. So you've got only a few days left to get in on that. So um, it's a great promo, but we knew it was going to be limited time, so I just wanted to remind people of that. We did get some Hollywood Studios news, and I know that this is it's not everyone's favorite. Some it's either you are so excited about it or you're really disappointed. But um, in Hollywood Studios, they did announce that Mama Melrose Restaurant will serve its final guests on May 10th. And Muppet Vision and Pizza Rizzo will follow by closing on June 7th. And this is all pertaining to that area getting closed down for the new Monstropolis area, Monsters Inc. area that's coming to that area. I know that some people are super excited about all the changes, but for those changes to happen, some fan favorites have to go away. So, how do you guys feel?
I
I'm
love
excited about it.
Muppets. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited too. I love Muppets. Like, I feel like that's kind of like my child, isn't that like everybody's childhood? That's like
Yeah.
our ages, right? But having seen that show multiple times, it needed something, right? It either needed like a refresh or like something. So I am excited that the Muppets are moving across Hollywood Studios. I
Yep.
don't, we don't know what that's going to look like at Rock and Roller Coaster yet, but I think Rock and Roller Coaster also needs an update. So I think it was needed, although sad.
Yeah.
I was at Walt Disney World last week just for a really fast trip. And had to decide like in my limited 2 days, like where was I going? And I was like, do I go see the Muppets? And I was like, I've been there, done that. Like I don't feel the need to do it again. Although their quirkiness in the show is fun. So like if you are going to be there and you haven't seen it, like I do absolutely suggest it. Like kids adore it. Like I mean I adore it. But I think it's time for some new. And both of those restaurants, I've eaten at both. They're just not favorites of mine personally. My youngest does love pizza Rizzo's, but he can get pizza someplace else. Like it'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, we leave for our trip in oh just about we're about 60 days out. And I was talking to my family like, are we gonna go see the Muppets one more time? And everybody's like, I don't think so. So I mean you've done it, so we're not so sentimental to it. I get it. But let's bring on Monstropolis. I think that the concept art that they've already shared for it is going to blows my mind. So I'm so excited for them to start on that stuff. So
Yeah. I'm a huge Monsters fan,
yeah.
so I love the Muppets. They are part of my life growing up, but I feel like personally that whole area is kind of tired. It's cute. I
Mhm.
do love the top level of Pizza Rizzo. So I almost feel like I
Mhm.
wish they would maintain some type of fun environment up
Mhm.
there because I think just the environment, I don't care for the food, but I
Mhm.
feel like the environment was super fun just to have that big dance floor and all that extra space. But I'm 100% in on the Monstropolis on Monsters Inc. Land. I've been saying for over a decade or a couple, when did Monsters come out? That there needed to be a
Mhm.
Monsters roller coaster with the doors. And so here it comes.
Yeah.
Disney's
Yeah.
answering my prayer.
It
So
looks
I'm
like
all
it's going to
in.
be super fun,
Right.
and I think some more thrill rides, for those who are thrill ride fans, like is going to be amazing. Let alone like just the concept picture that they've put out looks really neat. So I'm excited. Sad, a little sad, like, aw. But I also love that area because when they aren't using that stage, it is so quiet up there, and most people never go upstairs, right?
Right.
And so if you were looking for someplace maybe a little quieter, often that upstairs of Pizza Rizzo was much quieter, and it would, which is pretty weird to find a quiet spot
Right,
in the
right.
parks, but it was always one. So hopefully, we don't know what else is coming with that into that area, so it'll be exciting to see if maybe there's a restaurant or who knows what to come.
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm sure.
So another change that was announced is in Animal Kingdom. So it's tough to be a bug. It will be officially closing March 17th, and that will be to make way for Zootopia Better Zoo Together, which will come right now they're saying winter 2025. So this is an easy like buy like stuff to be a bug. You will not, I will not shed a tear for that.
So my youngest hasn't even been, excuse me, I'm choking on my drink. My youngest hasn't even been to It's Tough to Be a Bug. Like, so that means we haven't been to it in over 18 years.
Yeah.
So that's how much I dislike it. Like, there's just something about that. Actually, there's multiple things about that. Just not a fan of whatsoever. So I'm so glad to see it go. And I also love Zootopia. Like, I love the music, I love the
Yeah.
characters. Like, so I'm super excited for that one. Not gonna shed even the slightest tear.
I mean, I cannot tell a lie. I think it's hilarious, but that's as an adult. But then you
Yeah.
get the whole part where, I mean, spoiler alert, if you've never been on it, where the bugs are crawling under your butt
No.
and like all
Mm-mm.
the kids are crying in the
Mm-mm.
whole place. And I just kind of laugh,
You
like
get a
this is
stinger in the
Disney.
side.
What are you
No,
doing?
thank you.
No.
So yeah, no, I think Zootopia is going to be a fun show. I think it'll
Yes,
be an excellent addition
it
to,
is. Yeah,
yeah,
and perfect. I mean, perfect fit for Animal Kingdom.
right.
So, I'm glad that they're bringing that, to Animal Kingdom because it is. I know that Zootopia is a big fan favorite. So that'll be really great. I'm excited to see a little bit more and, and hear this winter when it starts. So. And then in Epcot, we are just a month away from Flower and Garden Festival, which starts March 5th and then goes to June 2nd. And then within that also includes the Garden Rocks concert series, which the performers have been announced, and it's a really fun lineup. I'm super excited because it is the only festival that I have never been to. And so we are going to catch it this year. So I'm so excited to go to Flower and Garden and, check out that. And I'm excited to report back because I'll be taking little kids with. So I know we'll do the scavenger hunt or, some of that kind of stuff. So I'm excited. I'm really excited to do that. But yeah, are you guys going to be, either you guys going to be there during Flower and Garden?
So we will just be missing Flower and Garden because we're going to be at Disney World for just a couple days before our cruise on the Disney Treasure. We leave in 3 weeks. I'm so ready. I know I've probably said that like 6 times already today. 3 weeks, ready to go. And honestly, we have not decided what we're going to do during the daytime hours. We're staying at the Polynesian in a theme park club level views, club level theme park view. So I want to enjoy that. And since it's such a fast trip, we're like, are we doing any park times? I love all the festivals. Like there's something about each one of them that is a favorite thing. My daughter and I just spent a day at Epcot for
Festival of the Arts.
Festival of the Arts. I know, I was just gonna call it
Love,
Parts. I was
love.
like, say the right name, but I couldn't come up with it. Festival of the Arts, which I love. I love walking around, especially with my daughter. She has a degree in animation, and so walking around with her is like such a different perspective because my stick figures don't look like stick figures, and she draws these incredibly elaborate like everything. And I have just always been in awe of that. So to walk around and look at art from like her point of view, and like she just points out things that I don't even notice or don't realize that that's part of it. And the chalk art is my favorite. We saw them drawing, and I was like, every time it rains, like they come back out and do this all over again. So like, how dedicated do you have to be to
Right.
do something that you know is going to disappear and have to come back and do it again? But I did get some video of that. I'll be sharing that hopefully this week. It was just so neat. So every festival is fantastic. Like there's a thing that I love about every one of them. The food is always neat. It's fun to try different things that maybe you wouldn't try any other time, right? Like, for example, we had it was like a soft shell crab sandwich.
Oh, you did
And
have that.
I
Interesting. How was it?
did, yeah. And I'd never had soft shell crab before. So it was delicious. I will say that. Um, I couldn't focus on like what I was eating too much because
Is
it
it what it
didn't
looked like?
it looks a little, I mean, it looks like you stuck a crab on a sandwich, right? And so like little tentacles or claws, I don't know what it has exactly, but yeah, it's all stuck out like the bun, you know, like cut it in half. And of course, Alexis has like a running commentary for the crab while she's doing it. Like I should have videoed that. That would have been like hilarious. But it was delicious. It was really, really good. We tried a couple of different things. The squid ink pasta also. It had a lot going on. It was too much for me. I think it was too much for Alexis. I think she kept trying to convince herself that she liked it. Also had truffle on it. Truffle's a very, of course, strong tasting anything. Anyway, so my advice is try something that you haven't before while you're at the festivals. There's so much going on. Be sure to give yourself plenty of time um, at Epcot if a festival is going on while you're there. Epcot is like, there's always just so much, like even when a festival isn't going on, that is in World Showcase, like that people often walk right by.
Mhm.
I know. Yeah. I don't have Flower and Garden on my official calendar yet. Like May is a time when I always go, but
Yeah,
then I've got um my oldest is graduating from high school
graduating.
first week in June. We're going in June 17th. We'll be back at Disney World, and so Flower and Garden is ending earlier than I wanted it to because I really wanted it to kind of fall into June. It
Mhm.
is the most beautiful time to visit Epcot. So all of the festivals are wonderful, but Flower and Garden is gorgeous
I'm
because
so
you
excited. I'm
yeah.
so excited.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I
Garden
love
Route.
all the topiaries. Like they're
Yeah.
just
Amazing.
amazing to me, right? So like I totally have a black thumb. I can kill like any plant in like 5 seconds. So to look at that and see what they create out of
Hmm.
flowers and plants, like it's just amazing to me. Like so much. But our whole schedule of vacations, except for this one coming up, has kind of gotten blown up. So I don't know really what the year holds past this trip. Also have a senior graduating in May. Ours is the week before theirs, and so all of that, like I can't even think to that point yet, let alone like on into the year. Obviously, hoping a Disneyland trip is happening for the 70th celebration.
Hmm.
Other than that, I am right now a big, huge question mark, which bothers me greatly because
Oh, oh,
that's my thing.
I'm having like a panic attack that I'm at 60 days to my April trip, and then I have nothing after that. Like that's not okay. Like, no, not 60 days out. Because as soon as
Yeah.
60 days out happens, then it's 30 days, and then the
Mhm.
trip's here, and then I have nothing.
You'll have something planned before
Yep,
that.
you
Don't you
totally
worry
will.
about
Yeah.
Disneyland, hopefully
it. I
Disneyland.
know, and I'm way so far planned out. So we've got the Destiny already booked for
Hmm.
January 2026, but even before that, I'm celebrating with my husband, obviously my our 20th wedding anniversary. So we're starting that, and that's New Year's. So we're starting that at the boardwalk, and then we booked a cabin at Wilderness Lodge. It's booked.
That's exciting.
So
I'm
we're
so
going to
excited for
spend
you
some
guys.
time just enjoying the Cascade cabins, the 2-bedroom DVC cabins at Wilderness Lodge, which I have been salivating over a stay in these
Mhm.
cabins since I toured them for the first time. I don't even know, 17, 18, somewhere around there. So it has been years. It's as soon as they opened.
And they are
We went to visit
so hard to get.
and they're gorgeous. So it's
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
booked.
Yes.
It's happening. But then, until then, my summer is kind of slow. Like I'm going to
Mhm.
Disneyland next week. And then normally I usually have something in May, but that's pushed to June. Nothing again until September. The officially, but I'm sure something will pop up in there. So
Well,
TBD, but
and I know that you and I, Jennifer, had kind of chatted, but I have a big birthday coming up next year. And so my husband and I are trying to work a Disneyland Paris trip, like to
yes.
celebrate this big birthday.
Right.
So fingers crossed that that happens, because wow, like I want to go. I want to
Well,
go.
and they have a new summer celebration this year that's it looks just wonderful with a whole music celebration. They're bringing back the Alice the Mad
Mhm.
Hatter BMX show to Walt Disney Studios Park because Walt Disney Studios Park right now is under a huge transformation. Into 2026, it'll be transformed to Disney Adventureland Park. And
Mhm.
so I keep looking, thinking, oh gosh, how do I get a Disneyland Paris trip in this year? It's not that far. It's a 7-hour flight. That's not too bad. I've done it in a long weekend. I can
Yeah,
do it in a long weekend again. It's just a matter of where do I fit that in with the rest of the big things that are happening right now for my family. They don't need to come with. I mean, it could
yeah.
just be me, just fine, no problems. Done that, been there, done that. We'll do it again. Um, because I love Disneyland Paris. I love it. It's wonderful. If you are a Disney fan, add it to your list. So, especially if you're a Disneyland fan, because it aligns very closely with Disneyland. It's different, but it's still two parks in a smaller footprint. And so it's really easy, it's an easy chunk on a bigger, European vacation. So totally worth a visit. But moving on, Disneyland California has some announcements coming up. I love that the parks and the resorts are always in a state of becoming. They're always looking to modify and improve and add new things. And so I guess I didn't realize that this was coming, but the Pixar Place Hotel is adding new suites. I didn't realize they were going to have some signature suites. And so they have announced a Coco suite and an Incredibles suite. And these will be high-end, large spaces available to book. They look incredible. The concept drawings look
Mhm.
really neat. So I can't wait. And, Coco, on the treasure, we'll get there. We already know that Disney can knock it out of the park with Coco. So I really can't wait to see what they look like at the Pixar Place Hotel. But again, if you haven't seen that hotel yet, that just reopened last year. So
We're
it's
right
been
at a year, right?
reopened for a year now,
Yep.
January 27th or 28th, somewhere in there, 30th maybe. But it's been about a year that's been reopened. But even since then, the club level lounge has reopened, more
Right.
floors have reopened. So now it looks like the last thing that they have to finish are the Cocos and Incredibles signature suites. So that is so exciting to look
I
forward to.
love The Incredibles, so I love that they're doing, so of course out there they have the Incredicoaster, right? Which is
Mhm.
so cute. Well, cute for like a thrill ride, right?
Right.
Um, like I love Jack Jack, like Jack Jack and cookies around here, like it's like a nonstop joke. It is my favorite thing about the contemporary is the theme, the Incredibles theming. So I'm excited that they're doing that. I'm excited that more Coco, especially after seeing what they did on the Treasure, which of course we'll talk about a little bit here in a minute. But that's super exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. And gosh, so much. So then for the Disneyland Hotel, so more news. Disneyland, the Disneyland Hotel is unveiling a new concierge lounge. It's going to be called the High Key Club, celebrating the music and sounds of the Disney parks, circa 1955, which again, this totally fits into the theming of the Disneyland Hotel. But one of the most exciting parts to me is that they're doubling the space of what they had before. And so it's in the Adventure Tower of the Disneyland Hotel. That's been being renovated, and they're making it twice as big. So the Disneyland Hotel really needed that. And so I can't wait to see what that will look like when it reopens. And then the Grand Californian has got some news happening too. First and foremost, for anyone who is looking to dine at Napa Rose, and again, that's also the Princess Breakfast. The Princess Adventure Breakfast is at Napa Rose. Disneyland has said that that is closing sometime spring, so we don't know when that will happen, and then it'll reopen sometime in fall. But that is undergoing a complete new transformation. And so, again, if you're thinking about princess dining at Disneyland, plan your trip now, or sometime fall it'll reopen, but until then you'll have different princess meet and greet opportunities, but Napa Rose will be closed during that time. And I mean, that space is always gorgeous, but I can't wait to see what they do with it, with the transformation. And then, very interesting to me is that the Disney Grand Californian is opening a second concierge lounge. So the first concierge lounge remains, and they're opening a second one that will be on the fifth and sixth floors of the Grand Californian, looks like overlooking the resort. And so, I mean, that was, as far as I can remember, any of that space was all public space. So I can't wait to check it out. I'm staying at the Grand Californian next week. So I can't wait to check out, what they have there, what parts are closed off, what will remain reopened to everyone. But if you've been to the Grand Californian, when you are just walking around the resort, if you go on some of those upper levels, there are some great seating areas just to look over that grand lobby. Just a gorgeous space, a gorgeous resort. So we'll see what that looks like. But that's been really highly sought after, the concierge club level spaces at the Grand Californian. So they needed that as well. So we'll see what that looks like next week. And I will share all of that on our Instagram, Facebook page. We can talk more about it when I get back from Disneyland.
How many days are you there for this time?
Well, how many days am I there? I get there Wednesday early morning, leaving Saturday night. So what is that? 3 nights, but pretty much 4 full days. And so I've got a whole list of things that I want to accomplish that I know I'm not going to be able to accomplish. I'll be spending some time with a great friend of mine coming down. She lives in Sacramento, but she's a Magic Key holder, so she's an annual pass holder. She can go whenever. So luckily she'll pop down. We are going to explore the Sweethearts Night, Disneyland after hours, and then I hope to meet up with some clients who are coming on over from Australia. My departure day is their arrival day, and I'm also hoping that day to do a little bit more exploration of the Good Neighbor hotels, because I always try to pop over. They're in a series of becoming as well, so those hotels are always renovating and improving their spaces. And so it's been a year since I've checked them out. So I do like to head over there once a year as well. So I'll be sharing anything new that I learn about what's happening with the Good Neighbor hotels too.
Awesome. Awesome. Sounds like a fun, fast trip.
Oh yeah, sleep will be, sleep will have to
Sometimes
wait till I
Disney
get home.
trips, sleep is optional.
Yeah, right. All right.
So moving on to some Disney Cruise Line news that just came out this morning. So summer 2026 itineraries will be launching next week to the general public on didn't write it down, but I think the 11th. And then
The general public doesn't even open until the 17th.
17th. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And then the different Castaway Club levels are next week. So general public on the 17th,
maybe
9th, right? 9th, 11th.
Oh, is it? They just announced it, so we're
this
frantically
morning.
trying
Like
to
literally just announced it.
share this information.
Oh, it kicked me out.
Actually, I can find that very quickly because I emailed it to myself. So like
Pearl on the 10th,
great.
Platinum on the 11th, Gold on the 12th, Silver on the 13th, and General Public on Monday, February 17th.
So,
Awesome. That was close. Like literally was like rolling out like the 2 hours before we were jumping on. So some news about the ships. So for Alaska for summer 2026, instead of just the Disney Wonder being there, the Disney Magic will also be headed over there from Fort Lauderdale over to that coast. And so both of those will be cruising out of Vancouver. The Dream will be headed back to Europe, including a new destination in Italy, Sardinia. So hopefully I said that right.
Yeah, yeah. You're good.
Like, I think I said that right. She will be doing 7 and 12 night Mediterranean cruises, 3, 4, and 7 night sailings out of Southampton, United Kingdom, to Northern Europe and the Norwegian Forges. The next thing, I'm super excited about it. So currently the Disney Fantasy is my favorite ship. We're gonna see if the Treasure bumps her or evens out. We'll see. I know, I think it's gonna bump her to number 2, but currently she's my number 1 for a whole bunch of reasons, not just the fact that Dumbo is the character on the back of the ship, and I'm a huge Dumbo fan, but I absolutely love lots about the ship. Anywho, she will be doing 4-night and 5-night Bahama cruises, plus a 10-night summer Southern Caribbean itinerary that I am uber excited about. It might also be near my anniversary. Can I squish it in? We'll see. Um,
And
the
that's
Wish
going to
still
sell out
doing.
like that. I mean,
I
that
know, I
10-night
know.
Southern Caribbean sailing disappears so fast. Every year, I've got folks who I think this past year reached out maybe 2 weeks after the cruises went on sale and it was gone
Yeah,
already. So if you want that 10-night, Southern Caribbean cruise, that is one that you need to jump on right now. Don't even think about it. Just put that deposit down. I mean, you really
yeah,
have to because that goes so fast and it's always amazing. And I mean,
yeah.
destinations like St. Kitts, it's not even, it hasn't even, I don't think, been posted on the website yet because they're still in the process of loading everything. But there are ports that are not available on any other Disney cruise
Mhm.
sailing, and it's 10 nights, which is a nice length of time. So,
I think it sounds amazing. I mean, because you're gonna say, and we know that even on a 7-night cruise, you cannot do it all, right?
no,
It's just like any other Disney destination vacation. Okay, not all of them, but Disney World specifically, you can't do it all even in a week.
right.
Most of the ships are that way as well. So 10 nights, I'm like, I think that sounds perfect
Mhm.
for the hubby and I, just to be specific. That would be the
Right,
husband
right,
and the wife cruise only.
right.
And then the Wish and the Treasure will be their same cruises, which are 3 and 4-night Bahamas for the Wish and 7-night Eastern or Western Caribbean for the Treasure. Did I miss? Oh, and did I miss anything in there?
No, no, I think you've got,
Uh-uh.
yeah, all of those details. Yep. And then the magic, this isn't posted on the website yet, but we are finding all of these
We were doing a
details.
little
So the
sleuthing.
magic is still going to be doing Galveston in early 2026. So I don't think I saw New Orleans in there. I think it's
Mm-mm.
just Galveston. I haven't really looked hadn't had the opportunity to do a deep dive yet, but it looks like the Disney Magic will have a 14-night Panama Canal cruise from Galveston to San Diego, April 5th through the 19th, 2026. So if you're thinking
What an
that's their
amazing
bucket list,
experience.
oh, 14 nights. I love the magic. I love the
Mhm.
magic. And the cast members love the magic. It's so funny when I was on the Treasure, talked to really all of the cast members. They're so friendly.
Mhm.
A good number of them came from the magic and they just would talk about how much they love the family environment of working there and they're so excited to be part of a new ship with the Treasure, but they do miss their friends. And we were in port with the magic, so we got to Cozumel and it was so cute because you'd see cast members who are, working the pool deck just chatting with their friends on the other ship, just on the other
Mhm.
side of um the walkway there. It was, I mean, it was the cutest thing. So the magic just is a super special ship too. So I would do, in a heartbeat, I would do that 14-night Panama Canal cruise if I didn't have a senior in high school.
Plus, we were on board her. You and I were on board her with Catherine a
Yeah,
year ago, right now. So, like,
right,
all of our memories are popping
right.
up, including our crazy wave sea day, which the video still makes me laugh. And I just love her. And then, of course, my husband and I were back on board her in August for my birthday. Like, she is the OG. Like, she's just such an amazing ship. And Disney does such an excellent job with repairing, painting, constantly working on their ships that you don't feel like it's an old ship, right?
You
She
wouldn't
doesn't
know
feel
it.
like she's 25 years old. Like she's gorgeous. Just she's a little smaller.
Right. Well, and it's so funny. So I just got off the Treasure. It hasn't been a week yet. I'm still basking in the glow of this new gorgeous ship. And of course, I mean, I love sailing with Disney Cruise Line, period. It doesn't matter which ship it is, but one of my really good clients and someone who's becoming just a sweet friend, she's like, okay, tell it to me straight. What's your favorite ship? And I said, yes. Like, yes, my favorite ship, my favorite ships are, and I listed up. I mean, I can't pick a favorite. Do I absolutely love the Treasure? Yes, I crave booking another sailing on the Treasure, but I feel the same way about the Fantasy and the Wish and the Magic. I think the Wonder for me, I just sort of put it out of my head a little bit because of the fact that West Coast is a little bit harder for me to get to. Um, I do love the Wonder, but I think I like the Magic a little bit more just because Rapunzel. I mean, the Rapunzel stuff. I do like the Dream, but the Fantasy and the Dream are sister ships, and the Fantasy, the Dream, gosh, the Beauty and the Beast show, gosh, so good. But then the Fantasy got me with, Frozen and Aladdin, and so I think the Frozen edges out the Dream, or the Frozen, the Fantasy edges out the Dream, but when it comes to my top ships, I can't pick between the Wish and the Treasure. I cannot. I love them both. I wish the Wish sailings were longer, because 4 nights is not long enough as a vacation. Again, caveat to that, I don't take vacations, I take trips. So, I do spend a good amount of time working when I'm on the ships as well. And so the Treasure was really nice for me because of the fact that I could work and still feel like I was enjoying that experience. And I certainly didn't do everything that I wanted to do on the ship. Um, but when we, did the Fantasy, it was only 4 nights. It was a fairly slow time as far as, work was concerned. And so I was able to do a lot in those 4 nights on the ship. So I've got a different perspective when it comes to that, but I cannot, it's really difficult for me to say, don't sail on this Disney ship because you won't like it. That's not true. They're all so wonderful. But yeah, the Treasure has totally stolen my heart. It's gorgeous. I think it's easy to miss so much to do on the ship, but there's a closing show called Treasure Found. It's a super cute show. It's very short. It's in the Grand Hall. But don't miss it. It's late. It's at 10:30, 10:15 or 10:30 at night. But it's one of those things where it really does bring the experience of being on the ship full circle. They do a really nice just short presentation with the characters and the script. And I cried because I'm a crier, but also because I think it was really well done. So, but as far as the Treasure goes, I can't tell you one thing that I loved more than another thing on the ship. It was wonderful, from the beautiful spaces to the entertainment to the dining. I mean, the Haunted Mansion parlor. If you are remotely a Haunted Mansion fan, this space is like walking into the Haunted Mansion and just sitting down and having a drink, or, just enjoying the atmosphere. They have several short, um, I don't want to necessarily even call them shows, but I guess several short, just a couple of minute shows where there will be um vignettes, maybe from the Haunted Mansion, or they'll have the ghosts show up in the mirror, Madame Leota or somebody. You have the lightning bolts and it's coming, and then it'll be a short, when Cringes Creek and Dora, when I like the whole thing. Gah, it's an amazing experience. So, and we were only able to really spend time there once. Then we went there for photos, and then we were busy. So I wish I would have been able to spend more time just in the Haunted Mansion parlor. Totally missed the piano lounge completely, which shocked me because I love nightingales on the Wish. And so
Scat
the
Club.
match to that,
Okay.
the counterpart to that on the Treasure is the Scat Cat Lounge. Adorable space. I'm a cataholic, so just because it is a cat theme, I should have been there. Didn't even make it there. But on the flip side, I guess we made it to Hook's Barbary for the speakeasy and had some amazing old fashions that were custom made for us and our tastes and worth every penny. Incredible. And they have, you know, moderate to very high end bourbon, whiskey, scotch available. So if that is of your, your tastes, then you have to check that out. But then I have to speak to the entertainment on the ship. All of it. I mean, the entertainment cast members, we know they're
Mhm.
not just the Broadway style shows. They are the cast members who come out and perform during the sail away party. They lead the trivia. They lead do your ship tours. They are basically your hosts throughout this whole experience on the ship to a person. They were all top notch. Hannah that we met on the Disney Magic was
She's so
there.
cute.
She's a treat. Gosh, I hope she stays. I mean, she's a fairly young person, but I hope she stays on Disney ships forever because she is somebody that I want everyone to be able to interact with. But speaking to the Broadway style shows, Seize the Adventure, same show as on the Disney Wish. I love this show. I know it's not everybody's favorite thing, but it's sort of like a review of Disney character songs within a loose story about, Goofy and
Yeah.
um, you know, finding his treasure and all of these types of things. Really cute show. The nice thing about it being on a 7 night sailing is that it's not on your embarkation day. You get to really get to know the ship and then go see that show the next day. And then we were able to enjoy the Beauty and the Beast, almost exactly the same as the one on the Disney Dream. There's a scene that's a little bit different. They shifted around a couple of things, but the staging, and still absolutely wonderful show. Incredible. The talent just blew me away. And then The Tale of Moana is one of the best shows I think I've ever seen in my life. Like a huge fan of musical theater, Broadway musical theater, and there's no reason why this show is not on Broadway. So on the Disney cruise, it's only an hour and 15 minutes long. So to transfer it to, a full Broadway show, they would need to fill it out a little bit, but it's it's better than a lot of traveling Broadway shows that I've seen. Disney even Broadway shows, and so I feel like if you are on the fence about booking the treasure and you are a musical theater fan, get yourself on the treasure. Do not miss the Tale of Moana. I really wanted to see it twice. We went to the matinee, and then they also had the 6 p.m. showing and the 8:30 p.m. showing. And we just ran out of time to be able to see it again later on that day because it was the day before debarkation, the day before getting off the ship. But man, was it well done. It was so well done. So I still think about it and get goosebumps because it was that good. There wasn't a lull in the entire show. Like it felt like it went so fast because every moment, everything from the staging to the script to, the performers to the lighting, because Disney does so much with lighting even beyond the stage. And so you are just surrounded by this show. How they use grammatala. Oh, anyhow, is it an hour yet? Because I could take a breath. I loved this ship so much that it was really hard to get off. And even after 7 nights, we were packing up, and I thought I could not. It wouldn't have even felt weird to just stay on it and keep going because it was so wonderful. So
What about, okay, so let's hear about the restaurants. So the
yeah,
Coco restaurant and then the World of Marvel, how it
right.
has that second new show.
Right,
So,
right. Yeah, so I'll start with Worlds of Marvel just because that'll be a little bit quicker. So we skipped the first night of Worlds of Marvel because it's exactly the same as the show
oh,
on the Wish, and we had Paulo booked, and so we had a really nice, incredible meal at Paulo that night. And then the second Worlds of Marvel, it was less of a show in relation to the first one, and it was
okay.
more of just really short but very cute vignettes with Rocket and Groot. And again, I don't want to spoil it, but super cute. And then it was a series of trivia that you could play or didn't have to play, to kind of entertain you throughout the dinner service. And so I felt like in that first Worlds of Marvel, you really have to be paying attention to,
Mhm.
what's happening on the screens to have a feel for what is really going on, um, throughout the dining experience. And in Worlds of Marvel, the second time, you don't have to be a Marvel fan. You can completely ignore what's happening there, or you can use that, trivia as time to play the game and get a feel for what's coming up. And it's some of it was, more like if you're a big Marvel fan, some of those questions were definitely for you. If you had no idea what was going on, you could still participate in some of those activities as well. Um, so yeah, I thought it was fantastic. The food was really good. Um, Coco, Plaza de Coco, gorgeous. And I love Arendelle. Not a huge fan of the menu just because I live in Minnesota. We get a lot
Mhm.
of Norwegian food. Not my thing, but I mean it's excellent for, the offerings. And that Arendelle is on the Wish. Plaza de Coco though, I mean, who doesn't like Mexican food, first of all? But man, the big downfall is that they put fresh chips and homemade salsa down in front of you, and I'm done. But it was really hard to not eat that to be able to enjoy the rest of the food, but
Mhm.
everything was wonderful, and the shows were so great. And both of them have the same mariachi band trio who are, I mean, their talent is incredible. And just to think that they are performing these shows 7 nights a week. I get to sit there twice, but with rotational dining, they're doing these shows, well, six because there's a pirate night in there, but 6 nights a week, they are bringing that energy and their talent. I mean, felt so lucky to be able to take advantage of both of those experiences. The shows are completely different for the first Plaza de Coco and the second Plaza de Coco, and so you have to go
Oh.
to both, because you're seeing a different show, with similar performers, not all exactly the same in both, but similar performers. But the mariachi band is the same. Um, the characters that are play a part in both of them are the same. But yeah, an incredible experience. One thing that I learned, and I guess we could all just intuitively, for those who follow Disney Cruise Line, intuitively understand that Disney is doing this, but for the first four Disney ships, when Disney rolled those out, they really wanted to create the same type of spaces with me time and we time. So the time for everybody to have me time, from the kids to the parents to, teenagers, everybody in between, and then we time spaces where you could join everything together. But what they did on those original ships is make some of those adult exclusive spaces not Disney at all. Still very, very highly themed, but without a Disney theme. And what Disney has learned when creating these new ships is that their Disney adults love Disney. They still want their adult exclusive spaces and activities, but they love the Disney theme.
Mhm.
And so let's make that more prominent. Let's create that Marvel show, that Coco show. And so that's really becoming more part of the entertainment on the ships. Again, you don't have to be a huge Disney fan to enjoy these new ships. You will love everything about them because you still have that really high level of service, the incredible entertainment value, the cleanliness off the charts. That's still there. But then those folks, those parents like me, who are, huge Disney fans and really love that entertainment value and like the stories, you are in the stories in these spaces if you know them. And so, yeah, Disney is really understanding their market and creating new things for that market as well.
It
So yeah,
just seems like, and I can't wait to see it myself. Like every time you're talking about it, I'm just like, yes, I'm so ready.
right,
But you're talking about that immersive feel, right? Like that fact that you feel like you've stepped into, you know, the world of Marvel or, the Coco movie. Like
right,
that immersiveness is what people love about Disney World, Disneyland
Mhm.
Paris, all of the parks, and it's so exciting to see it being brought to the ships,
right,
even more so, like because I think on the four legacy ships like you feel that too, right? But it's just even more so on these new ships, like that immersive feeling that you've stepped into. You know, like you said, the haunted mansion. Like you feel like you're just having a drink in the haunted
Mhm.
mansion.
Yes, it really does feel like that too. And then I didn't mention 1923. 1923 is the same restaurant as on the Wish, but you got two separate meals. The captain's dinner is the second time that you're there, and all the menu there is amazing. But to me, it was interesting that it was so different. They had completely different menu the second time, and so I love 1923 on the Wish. That's, I mean, for the food. And on the Wish, 1923 was my favorite food. On the Treasure, I struggle because I loved Coco. I liked the second menu for Worlds of Marvel. Um, but 1923, that captain's dinner with the lobster tail, I think got me. They had venison on the menu. I mean, they've got some different things that aren't earlier. But yeah, it's so nice. And I love the dinners. I mean, sometimes you just need an excuse to dress up. You don't have to at all, but you have an excuse to if you want to. And so we were able to do that just a couple of nights on the ship, made sure we got some fun family photos. You still have Pirate Night. Pirate Night is awesome. The Wish and the Treasure have my favorite Pirate Night. I'm
Mhm.
sorry, other ships, because I love it on all of them. But that Pirate Parlay party with the live band and the fireworks, it's so good. It's so good. So, and it's so easy to miss. I think with everything else going on the ship, you could completely miss Pirate Night on the Treasure and be doing other things and not even realize that you missed it. So, I don't know. I mean, I love that ship, man. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And I don't know when we'll be able to get on the ship again because we've got the Destiny booked. And I'm so excited about the Destiny. Some of these things will live again in the Destiny. The Haunted Mansion Parlor is coming to the Destiny. So that I think is super exciting. I put together a video of just walking through what, I've got this picture behind me, the grand atrium, and then the spaces that were off of the atrium. So it included the dining rooms, the coffee lounges, which are even more beautiful on the Treasure than they are on the Wish. So they plussed those. Um, Shopping, some of those game spaces. Something that really surprised me when I was walking around on the Treasure is that one of their main entertainment spaces, the Sarabi lounge, I guess it's a lounge. It's just called Sarabi. When you walk down that hallway, I mean, Disney does this so well with music, but the transition is very quick. So you go from the Disney Treasure um, music to like an Animal Kingdom Lodge type of feel, and it's scented like the Animal Kingdom Lodge. So all Disney ships have it. They've got a signature scent. You know what that is
Hmm.
when you walk on the ship and then you cry up, when you get off because you're like, nothing smells like a Disney cruise. But when I walked into the hallway going around Sarabi, music changed like that, with the coloring and the painting and everything else. And I felt like I was in Animal Kingdom Lodge, which I love. So it was one of those I didn't expect to love that space as much as I did, and it is fantastic as well. So, I mean, I can't name a space that I love more than another on the ship. Triton's Lounge is pretty much exactly the same as it is on the Wish. That's just more of an entertainment, a lot of trivia in that space too. So I talk about trivia because there's a ton of trivia on Disney cruises, and from Disney based trivia to music of the 80s or 90s or 2000s to sports trivia to you name it. It's impossible to win because there's always a ringer in there who
Hmm.
knows all the answers to everything.
Yeah.
But we won one.
I'm
Yay.
so
I
jealous.
can't take any credit at all because my husband and my older daughter, I mean, they're Marvelaholics, but I mean, I knew some of the harder questions, which I was really happy about. They knew them too, but I could not have won it on my own. But we had to win with a 20 out of 20. Like you had to have all of the questions right to win. So yeah.
I will say they're so fun. Like we always do trivia while we're on board of multiple types. When we were on board the Magic, we did the music trivia. They had like a different decade each night while we were on board.
Right.
And that was really fun to do the ones that were like, or college life,
Right.
and like younger
The last time
years.
you paid attention to popular music?
Right, exactly. When I had time to pay attention to, yeah, absolutely. And it was hilarious. Like the bar was just jammed with like other people our age, right? And some other people, like absolutely. But like the majority of people were like all of our age, and like we were talking with people all around us, like what you or like we everybody was singing, right? It's just so much fun. And like my daughters and I, of course, have done the different Disney trivias multiple times. We've got them all and like got into the round where you tiebreaker, that's what I was trying to come up with, and lost multiple times. So we'll see if this time is the time that we win. So I was very jealous of your medals, because they give out a medal. Like if you haven't seen Jen's medals, like it's a
They're rubber.
significant
They're
medal. It's
rubber, but
not
it's
even
a,
like a tiny little thing. Like it is a Disney medal. Like I used to say, like I ran for bling, right, when we did run Disney races. And feel like that's why I do the trivia. Like I just want the medal, man.
I know. Well, and something else that I really appreciate about Disney cruises, and this I think is, we'll see how things happen as my kids get older, but it's not just for little kids. So a lot of times I have families that come to me and say, but I've got a 13-year-old. What's my 13-year-old going to do on this ship? They're going to make friends and you're never going to see them.
Yeah.
So I mean, they think, okay, so you've got Oceaneer Club for 10, ages 10 or 3 to 10. That, is a check-in space, totally immersive, totally amazing. Yes, absolutely a Disney cruise is wonderful for them. But then once kids age into the tween club called Edge, awesome. They will make friends in that space. You always have to go the first night because that's the first time when they're really getting to know each other and sometimes creating teams for games that they might be playing for the whole rest of the sailing. They're able to check themselves in and out. So I know when my kids were in Edge, there'd be times when we would just see them on the pool deck, with their new friends, having just won some game and they're celebrating with, free pizza or free soft serve or whatever. And the same thing happened, and has happened now that they've been in Vibe, which is the teen club. Vibe, you age out at 17. So my oldest, this was her last time in Vibe. We're not going to get another cruise in until after she's 18. There are things that she's excited about that she can do as an 18-year-old. She can now come to the spa. She can enjoy some of the higher end dining experiences. She's excited about that. But so much of her cruise experiences have been with those friends that she meets on the ship. And so Disney Cruise Line has the 1820 Society. They don't necessarily have the same immersive spaces. They've got, some little spaces. A lot of times they just meet in the adult only spaces and do things together as a group. So I'm really interested to see what that looks like, with that crew. But she's just as excited about her next Disney cruise. She keeps asking me if we can fit one in the summer. She's one of the reasons why we can't travel in the summer because her schedule is packed. But she wants to get another one in before she goes to college. We'll see what that looks like. But Disney has something for every age group. So your 16-year-old is not going to be bored. You probably won't see them. I mean, my kids were out easily until, 12:30 every night. They had activities going on. So we would have dinner. We always do the second seating. So we do the, show first, second seating, go to dinner, I go to bed after that. The kids are out until probably 12:30 or so. And then, they come in and go to sleep then and sleep way too late in the morning. But there's something for everybody. And so, yeah, your teenagers are going to have a great time just as much as your 3-year-old's going to have a great time. Just as much as you are going to have a great time with and without your children. So,
I had clients that have been on other cruise lines and said, "Oh, my kid's never going to do that, and they never do it on such and such, cruise line." And then they go on their Disney cruise, and then come back and tell me like I had to like drag them out of there just to come eat dinner with us, and I'm try not to be like, I told you so, right? It's the whole mom, like, I told you so kind of thing. But it's just a very different experience on Disney Cruise Line compared to other cruise lines, right? Like for the younger kids, again, there's that immersive feel of the Oceaneers Club and Lab, right? And then I think it's the friendships that kids make that often go on after the cruise, like they connect on social media and like, where are you going next? Like those kind of things. And that's just precious, right? Like,
Yeah, I
And
know.
I guess I know we're almost out of time, but I that just reminded me of one thing that I did want to mention. So we did also get news that the the dine and
Ooh,
play is
yeah.
coming back. So what that is if you are on a Disney cruise and you're on the second seating, so that later seating, what you can do is you can eat with your family, and then once your kids are done, they can meet the leaders, the cast members who are in those clubs, and they'll take them, and then you can, as the adult, finish up your dinner and like eat, so that was something that hadn't come back post-COVID. So that's really exciting. I know that there are people that loved taking advantage of that. And I know that we haven't been able to take it, like we didn't cruise before COVID, so we didn't know any different, but man, the next cruise we go on, our kids are going to be out of there so fast. They're going to be eating because they just want to go play. Like,
Great.
so,
Yeah.
so I'm
I mean,
so glad
there's
that you
so
said that
much.
because that reminded me that
Yeah.
that
yes, thank
started
you. I
just
totally
this.
had missed
Yeah.
that.
I know,
Yep.
I know. Well, and there's so much too. So, the dinner seatings, one of my daughters has a peanut and tree nut allergy. And so at every dinner seating, the server, our lead server, Priska, who is just the sweetest person, she would bring her the menu for the next night and say, okay, what do you want to eat?
Yep.
We'll take your order right now for tomorrow, and then we can make sure that everything is completely prepared, in a safe way for you, and that you will still be able to get served on the regular schedule, because sometimes if you wait and order allergy items on the day
Mhm.
of, takes a little bit longer to get your food. This is the same in real life anywhere that we go, for those allergy precautions, because of the fact that they are preparing things separately, in a different area, and it takes can take a little bit longer. So just the fact that she could order ahead of time and then get her meals at the same time, we didn't have to wait any longer for that. I mean, what a great thing. That's so small. You just put your
Mhm.
your order in the day before, and then it's really easy to make sure that you have that safe, allergy friendly meal for whatever your allergens are the next day, just like clockwork. So yeah. And they were able to do that if she wanted something specific on Castaway. So she was able to place an order for just her own plated lunch on Castaway, Disney's Private Islands. This would be the same for Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point. It would be the same for breakfast if she wanted to do that. My kids weren't awake for breakfast.
Staying
So,
out till 12:30.
right?
Right.
There was
They're
no
like,
breakfast
lunch it
for
is.
dinner. Right. But it was just one of those things where that care is taken for everyone on
Hmm.
every sailing at every for every experience. And so it's just a really special thing to experience. And keep trying to pull friends with us who just say we're not cruisers, we don't cruise.
Yeah.
And like, you don't, and a lot of them are Disney fans,
Hmm.
but we're not cruisers. And I'm like, you would be surprised.
Yeah.
So give it a
Took
try.
me 20 years, well, 22 before, including the time before we got married to convince my husband to go on one because he was saying the same thing. And now he's like, when's the next one? When are we going again? Well, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Right.
3 weeks.
Right. Well, we are at an hour here. So any other thoughts for
Well, we
today?
definitely will be bringing more
Yes.
Disney treasure information to you. I know you have so much more to share. You've only been home a couple of days and are probably still trying to play catch up and everything else like that. And I will be in a slightly different stateroom on a slightly different sailing. So, tons more to come. We will be sharing with that. And we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, yeah. So thanks so much for watching. If you haven't already, be sure to like this video and all of our videos. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. You just hit the subscribe button. That means that you get notified about our future live streams and other videos that are posted. And of course, if you are looking for a vacation to Disney World, Disneyland, Disneyland Paris, on a Disney cruise, Adventures by Disney, National Geographic Expeditions, Universal Hollywood, Universal Orlando, etc., please reach out. We would be very, very happy to help you plan. And until next